Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. Welcome to another trading session. We are live Friday, September 22nd now, and
Welcome to
we did
another
have
trading
some
session.
fundamental, high impact fundamental right at
Friday,
the
September
opening
22nd
of
now,
the hour. Retail
We
sales.
did have some fundamental.
So let's take a look at GJ here
right
at
Friday,
the
September
opening
22nd
of
now,
the hour. So we can kind of see here the range that is setting itself in. We have an EMA below, and we're just looking for the top end, a touch on the top end of the range here, and we're gonna look for some significant markers here that can help us adjust the top end of the range. Now let's switch to different time frame here. This is 5 minutes of EMA below, 15, 30 minute, and then we have the hour. Okay, the 2 hours is a little distant here, but we do have the hour right here, EMA above here. So let me actually make a horizontal ray for this. Let's go right here. And let's scroll down here. So yeah, so we have GJ kind of stuck in the middle of this range right here, potential range. We need a touch at the top here. So this is it's a good structure here. And the reason is because we do have a potential touch that GJ can come to, and then we could set our sell stops here, and we have enough breathing room between them. Let's take a look at the amount of pips here. So another 20 pips to go up, potential tap of the 1 hour EMA, and then we have from 22 to 15, 16 pips. We're looking at a 6 pip difference between the potential top end of the range here and the 1 hour EMA tap. So this would be a good strategy here, or gameplay here, where we allow the price to reach to the top end here, tap the 1 hour, and look for sell stops right here to the way down. Okay. So that can definitely work here. Let's see. Now, if it even gets there, if the price doesn't even get there, then we're not looking at, this gameplay here where it has potential to reach, right? Because then we have this as a top end. But because of the high impact news, and then we also have, let's look over here, JPY news as tentative. So that could happen, in the next hour or so. And then we're also looking at, in about 2 hours, we're looking at PMI news. So a lot of action happening, as I mentioned at the end of the stream yesterday. So we have a lot going on. And we're going to have to be careful with how we, have a setup and, ready to enter, because we need to be sure that we have enough breathing room between our sell stops or buy stops in order to execute, and avoid any stop out or tap in, and the price going against us, because of the high impact news. And also London opening is coming up in half an hour as well. So we're looking for price to reach right here, tap the 1 hour, and then we're looking to enter sell stops once the price reaches here. So then it can come down here, and then it can go down here. So right now that is the gameplay. Let's see if it does indeed respect that. We have how open is this range right here in terms of pips. So 30, 35 pips, this range. So not a bad range. Let me just take a look at the 2-hour EMA. So that's quite some distance from the 1 hour. But again, there is some high impact news coming for both JPY and GBP, and as well there's a London opening in half an hour, and the JPY news is tentative, right? So which can happen anytime now, and so we have to avoid these things as well, right? And it's a Friday as well, so let's see how that goes. Let's take a look at USD CAD meanwhile. Let me also start the timer here. Got that. Okay, you took 2 trades, both being W, paper trading, but still though. Okay, excellent. And I'm assuming that it was range trading. If that was, excellent, right? And again, it's always good to note that this strategy and system, it won't just work in, London session. It can work in any session that's a high volume pickup for, the pair that you're trading, right? And this is something that the market repeats, right? And it's most consistent with Forex pairs, but excellent nonetheless. Okay, so this is a half an hour candle here. We'll take a look at USD CAD shortly, but just going to see how GJ moves here. So if it's in this smaller range within this area, I don't want to get trapped within this. So we'll let it ride again. If it does not, price does not come up here as we have designated here, it can come down here, push down maybe. There's an EMA down here as well. And then we can go ahead and look for the buy stop. So both ways we have some moves here that can play out. But we're stuck in the middle of this range, so that's not good to enter because we can get stuck, both ends. Okay, one USD CAD and one GJ. Excellent, right? And you can see, guys, the inverse correlation is powerful 70% of the time with these two pairs, right? So that's wonderful, and that's what I want to hear as well. And more if you guys engage in the range trading within the range instead of waiting for breakouts all the time. If there's a higher ratio of something, we're most often getting more setups in that scenario, right? So if there's more markets are consolidating more often than not, then you're most likely going to find more setups than waiting for breakouts, right? So excellent. All right, so we still have about half an hour. We're still waiting. We have, a bias on both ends if price moves either way. But this range right now, it seems to be, being respected right now. So it's been about since the last, 4 hours, 3 hours, that this range is pretty valid. So it can definitely come up on either end and reject and then come back right into the range. Of course, we are dealing with some high impact fundamental events, so we do have to have some breathing room before we enter either these sells or buys, either way. So let's just be patient here. And we'll look at USD CAD shortly as well. Alrighty. So again, even if prices follow our plan or the way we want it to move, which is again either way because we're trading within the range, the entry time, right, and the precise entry has to be timely. We cannot just assume an entry here, anywhere above here. No, it has to be in a timely manner. And again, the safest engine is limit orders, whether it's buy stop or sell stop, but again, in a timely manner. And again, that lowers our risk, and that's a powerful end of this system here. All right, so it is, this is a rather larger range, so about 35 pips or so. So with the price right now, it's kind of in this range, which is about 11, 12 pips, but not tradable yet. Just gonna remove, this pathway here, so it's not in the way. So we could get a push up here. Again, we could see this move transpire prior to London opening. It's about 16, 17 pips to the 1 hour EMA. Let me just make it exact here, right around here. You can see price is pushing. Let's bring it back here. So yeah, price is trying to push. I mean, it's definitely, a possibility for it to reach at least the 1 hour EMA. Just need a stronger push here. Okay, I think we're getting that right now. Let's see. Will it break out of this small consolidation zone and, to the upside here? And I gotta get my text ready as well. Let's put that here. We're looking for GJ sell stops at, that would be around the 182 zone, right? Oh, it's pushing right now, so we might need to get that ready. So 182. Yep. We want to look at USD CAD here. So USD CAD is looking for, let's just quickly do this here. So we're getting, good formation on both ends for USD CAD and GJ again. Yeah, if I noticed that as well. Yeah, the ranges have been typically smaller, but that's fine. Even 20 pips can fit into a small range, in the small range category. Again, it's very important about the exact entry. So again, we need the price to come up above our top end of the range and at least tap this 1 hour EMA. So we have a confluence above, which can give us some breathing room, for us to set our sell stops before price comes back down. So it's, very, very close now. It came up all the way up here, which is nearly 6-7 pips away from our EMA, right? But it's still caught up in this consolidation zone, which I'm afraid the price may still be, stuck in. But if it does push up here, we need to react fast here and have, our platform, whether it's MT4, MT5, C Trader, ready, so we can go ahead and enter these sell stops. Okay. So yeah, let's look at USD CAD as well. Let me look at the range size here. Oh, okay. So this is a rather larger range here. Let's see down here. Is there any EMAs down here? Not really. But we do have this non-wick candle down here, which is about 6-7 pips below this range. And this current range is what, 10-11 pips, so that's not bad either. This is the larger end of that range, and there's no wick on this current candle, as well as a 50-minute candle. Actually, a 30-minute candle here. Okay, so we have some setups here that can be aligned. And here comes GJ again. Okay, GJ is pushing, so we might need to activate this sooner than later. Okay, yeah, it's pushing. So I'll probably go for 20 pips at a time here. Or can we go for 18? Yeah, 182. Yeah, I think that's fair. So if it does reach out over here, we can go for 16 pips. Let's go here, 16. So we're going to let price reach above. So I use the CAD here. So looking for USD CAD to kind of drop down here to elect for the buys. Let's go back here. We need it, we need GJ to push just about 12-13 pips up, so we can get a entry right here. Now, can I adjust this entry a bit? 182, 182.30. I think we can do that. So that would give us what? Let's do a healthy 18 pips. Yeah, that's better. Again, we're waiting for to enter once the price crosses there. We're not ready for USD CAD. Okay, it's pushing. It's close. It's very close indeed. So we just need a slightly higher push. We're looking for the tap now. It's what? 6-7 pips away now, GJ. Gives us one more big push, and we can go for entering sell stops here. Okay, great question. So did it ever happen that you get set up for both pairs in the same direction? And if it did, do you take them both or no? So ideally, no. Okay, well, we'll come back to the question. So GJ just, did it tap it? Okay, yeah. So this trade, I'm putting sell stops, guys. So we just tapped the EMA. So I'm going to turn this into blue. So we have about 10 pips before GJ could potentially activate. But again, there's high impact news coming, right? So we can see the push coming past here. So for that reason, I'll adjust my stops as well. So 182.50. 182.50. Oh, what is pushing? GJ is pushing. All right, let's go 182.60. So 182.060. And we're going to wait for price to come down. So just cross the 1 hour, you can see that. But we have enough breathing room. Let's see how much breathing do we have? About 10, 11 pips right now for the price to come back down. So 18 pips on both ends here, 18 and 18. So it gives more breathing room today again, most likely because of, you know, the high impact fundamental events. So let's see. USD CAD, looking to see USD CAD push down here, somewhere below here, and then we can set the buy stops here for the price to reach up here. But if GD continues to push, this trade, you know, might be invalidated, right? And we're gonna have to remove the sell stops. But we could get a push here. We have about 15 minutes left, so new 15-minute candle. It can definitely come back right, come back right in back into the range. Now, of course, now if it does not come back into, you know, if it doesn't reject this EMA and come back into that range, then this setup is invalidated. And again, last couple of days we've been, you know, seeing a lot of high impact fundamental events that have, you know, it affected our ranges here, right? It's not normally typical, but we can't do anything about that. All right, GJ might push back down here if it indeed does reject. And we adjusted our sell stops as well, so we have breathing room, but at the same time we may have a good entry as well once, you know, price comes back down, if it does come back down. It's pushing right now. And again, I'm going to avoid USD CAD for now. As far as the question again, yeah, so regarding if both pairs are in the same direction and would I take them? So most likely no. And that's not only because there might be a fundamental event in play that's affecting, you know, both pairs going in the same direction. So it's going against my game plan if both pairs are going in the same direction, right? And you want to avoid that because that it does increase your risk. So follow the game plan. If both pairs that you trade have an inverse correlation, meaning one way, you know, goes up, the other goes down, you want to keep it consistent and follow your game plan. So yes, I would not, you know, trade both pairs going in the same direction if they have an inverse correlation. Okay, and another good point here that I can mention here regarding this current setup in which I have entered sell stops. So you can see now I could also, just for the purpose of this current setup, I could have also shifted it, let's say over here, to get a better entry. But you can see now how you can stop me out and continue up. So you also want to have breathing room for the price to move freely up and down before it makes a final push. Right? So that's why you don't want to adjust it too high up as well and possibly get stopped out. So let's say we shifted all the way here. Oh, it's going to come down. It's going to come down. And it taps us here and it continues up. So that's why you want to avoid that. And just keep it at least within the range. So 182.60, I feel, you know, it's in good line. And we can get a better tap in of the price, you know, to continue down. But again, I would need, you know, the 1 hour to close below this EMA. But if it doesn't, that means that this trade has been invalidated. And we're going to remove this. And we have to remember it's a Friday and it's a lot of high impact news coming for, you know, the two currencies that we're trading within this pair, for JPY and we have GJ in about less than 2 hours here. GP, sorry. You can see now this JPY, which was tentative around 2:30. Yeah, I hadn't mentioned the time, but you can see that that's the push that happened here, the 2:30 time right here. This whole push. So this current 30-minute candle was because of the high impact news. And so we had a stronger push above. Now we're, 11 minutes away from London opening now. So can we get, the 1 hour to reject here and continue the move down? And hopefully we get a strong push for GD to come down so we can, this trade can be a safe, clean trade down. But still waiting for the setup to get activated. All right, here GJ comes. Let's see if we get a strong push. So it's coming back to reject, this EMA. So in reverse here. Let's see if it does do that. We also have London opening in 9 minutes. But can we get activated and get a good push down prior to London opening? And maybe even complete the move prior to London opening. But you can see now there's a small consolidation zone right here. Right here, about 9-10 pips. And we have a healthy, 18 pips profit target with the 18 pip stop loss. And looking to get at least 1 TP. And if London opening gives us a good push, I'm going to let runners run down to complete 2 TPs here. So that's the idea here. But let's get at least the price, to tap into our sell stops and continue the push. Here is the 1 hour. Okay, another great question. So if it doesn't give the entry and price doesn't tap into our sell stops and the hour closes, which is going to be London opening above the EMA, would I still take it? So I'll have to consider where the price is, right? Because for all we know, that London opening, because of this was, due to the JPY news. So for all we know is that the London opening can continue to drive down, right? Because we do have good confluences below. And the GEP news is still about an hour and a half away. So I might consider the setup again if we have enough breathing room between the sell stops and London opening, right? Because we don't want to be tapped in and just kind of a fake out happening, and it goes against us. So let's see. We still have about 7 minutes. We've seen over the past 2-3 weeks now that we've entered about 10-15 minutes or even 5 minutes prior to London opening, and the trade being completed at times because we get good volume pickup. But let's see here. Again, this is so close to the 1 hour EMA that we could see that it can reject this 2-3 pips away. So it's still working in line. with what we want it to, but we'll need a good bearish candle in the next 5 minutes, right? So the 5-minute candle now is going to open in less than a minute, and let's see if it just pushes straight down. USD CAD, so tapped here. So we could see USD CAD in this, small range right here. 12, 13 pips. But if GJ continues up, yeah, and if GJ pushes up here, like enough distance between the 1-hour EMA and continues to push up, then yes, I'm going to probably avoid GJ, and the sell stops will be invalidated. But we got 1 minute left, or less than just a few seconds left to see how the 5-minute, the last 5 minute before, last 5 minutes prior to London opening. Let's see here. Still in this small consolidation zone. And again, it's very close to the EMA here, right? So we could see that it potentially, see it's rejecting now. Okay. Here it may come. Okay, here it comes. All right, here it pushes, and we're nearly about to activate. And we're activated. So the trade is active now. So we have 182.060 as our entry. We have 182.240 as our sell stop. And 181.880 as our TP1. Should be right here. Ooh, it seems it just tapped us in and went back in the consolidation zone, but this is the 1 hour right here. So we can see that it is rejecting. Now hopefully we get that push down again. We got, what, 4 minutes left? Ooh. This was a big fake out to the downside, but again, it could continue with that push. If we get one more strong push, but this trade is activated. And it came right down. Can it continue down again? Or, let's see here. Well, so yeah, it did come down, what, literally right to our entry. And then went back up, what, 8, 9, 10 pips now. Wow. But that's not good. And we got 3 minutes left. Will it close above the 1 hour EMA? Let's see. Well, you can see, guys, it literally came right to our entry. Wow. And did not go past. All right, and it's pushing up all the way now. We got 2 minutes left. And it may just pass through here. Let's see. So this is the last inclination here. And the range looked pretty valid as well, but I think we got sucked in by the fundamental event, JPY. But the trade is still valid, and it is activated. the USD CAD here as well. All right, we got London opening, so I mean, this trade is still in. We're still activated, so let's see what happens here. We could get a push up and then a push down, or we can get a straight push down with London opening. Let's see. So we're still about. Oh yeah, this is pushing. So yeah, it most likely will close above the 1 hour. And again, that's the risk sometimes you got to take, right? Sometimes the entry could have been valid, but let's see. So this is London opening now. Let's see. All right, let's see how if GJ pushes up or down. Currently is coming up. We're not far off from our stops. And which EMA is that? That's the 50 EMA. So we're still in this setup right now. We got tapped in right, a few minutes prior to London opening, and it went completely against us. A fake out right here. You can see this candle right here, right to our entry, and then it just went above. Now if we get one bearish candle here, we can survive the setup here. Where's the 1 hour EMA right there? But will it give that push down or will it go up first? Let's see. USD CAD is pushing up. Let's see here. But this was the range. Oh, this is pushing. Okay, USD CAD open up with no wick. So we could look for some sell stops once it gets to the top here. Let's say if it does, the 30-minute. We got the 2 hour. Okay. Yeah, so that's the 50 EMA. The EMA that I use. Okay, GJ is we're still in the setup. Looking for a bearish push here towards the 1 hour EMA. But this trade did tap us in right before London opening. I'm just trying to see how it's moving in different time frames here. Again, GJ did close above the 1 hour. One hour EMA, so that's not a good indication for us because it can continue the ride up. We did have, some JPY fundamental event, which kind of took away, this range here. So this candle right here was because of the JPY news. But we're still in this setup now. If we can get a clean push down here, so just tap the 1 hour now. Just tap the 1 hour EMA. Can we get a clean push down here? I mean, not only will it, if this whole candle pushes down, not only will it give us a TP1 target, but also could potentially give us the TP2 target as well here. Let's see. Will it reject the EMA or will it push down? My USD CAD open with no wick. Still keeping an eye on USD CAD. And GJ still in this. Can we get a clean push? All right, so this trade is still active, and if we can get one more push down on GJ, this can be a clean ride down. If we can break out of this consolidation zone, it can be a clean ride down. Okay, we're about to open up with a new 5-minute candle. It's rejecting the 1-hour EMA here. So we're still about 6-7 pips. I mean, we were about 4 pips away from entry, but it's about 6 or 7 pips now. Here comes the new 5-minute candle. It's reversing. Yeah, so now we're in this consolidation zone here. If we get a rejection here, right, to the downside, then we can definitely break out of here and come back into our entry zone and potentially move, further down. But that's if GJ doesn't stop us out here. Let's see. And if we did not get tapped in prior to London opening, a few minutes prior, this would have been, still an ideal setup to go for, because once it breaks out of this zone here, which is the EMA target here, we can get a clean push down. But we just got tapped in right prior to London opening, and now we have to bear with this. Let's see here. USD CAD is rejecting here as well. Let's see. See on the 2-hour now, can we get a clean candle down? This is a new 2-hour candle here. All right, nearly to our stops here. Okay, here it comes. So 3.5 pips away. Oh, here it comes. So yeah, this was a push, strong push. And the USD CAD as well. Okay, yeah. So this, we've been stopped out here. So this is one setup. Again, the continuation of the JPY news effect, which is rampant here. So this is a stop out. Now I'm still gonna look to see if GJ comes back down. So let's look at the 2 hour here now. 2 hour EMA. So it's pushing. GJ is pushing. Could we get GJ to push to the 2 hour EMA? And could we look for a buy setup here once USD CAD comes down here? So this is a few setups forming here as well, right? So I'm going to look to see if we can break even or even profit with maybe another GJ re-entry and a USD CAD entry here for the buys. So let's stay tuned. Let's take a look at the 2 hour EMA here, 21 pips away. And could it form a range over here, right? We do have the non-wick candle. So this will be interesting. And from our exact sell stops here, we had about price moving almost 24 pips above. Now it's coming back down. If indeed it comes back down, I'll be looking to maybe take sell stops at a lower point here. But let's wait out here, right? This is the candle that pushed us, out of this one right here. So it went with 10 pips right to our entry, exact point. It came back up. But rest assured, we do have another setup forming here. So we could potentially break even or even profit before the London session stream ends here. Let's see. I have to really be active here now. So 15-minute, you can see that it's potentially rejecting here. Now if it does come back down for the 1 hour, for the 1 hour EMA, we'll see. And USD CAD here. Here 1 to 1, 2 to 2. Looking for the third touch here, but with GJ, in the small USD CAD in small consolidation zone, we could see, a move down here, and then we can go for the buys. So we're going to wait out for that. You can see huge rejections here as well. There's a 4 hour EMA as well up above. 1-1. Yeah. Okay, here GJ has a strong push here. And it seems to be rejecting on the higher time frames as well. So I may go for re-entry depending on if we get 50-minute close down here or it's a strong push. Strong push. Let's see, there's a 50-minute closing. We've got 1.5 minutes left. Let's see here. Okay, I am gonna go for another re-entry, guys, for GJ sell stops. We could get a big bearish push from the GJ, and I'm gonna make it a little bit wider stops here. Let's go. I like this EMA tap right here, so let's go 18 pips. Shall we keep it at 18 again? Yeah, I think 18 is fine. Oh, right there. Big push. Wow. Wow. Right there. Nice. Look at that, guys. Nice. Big push. So I'm going to let runners run. Look at that, guys. Wow. So you can see how active we had to be. So I just got this in. 18 pips. Okay, stops at break even, guys. Stops at break even. Letting runners run. Wow. Big just push of the candle. Yeah, I would, but again, this was not, it was Euro news, right? So, all right, 50% closure here, and let runners run up to here. So you have to remember that this was Euro news. Sometimes they may affect GBP, sometimes it may not at all, right? You can see here. So typically for the pair, it's not a high impact news, generally. Look at that push. And so now you can see that this was generally this setup right here, or this candle right here was pretty much the JPY news effect. And now we had, yes, we did have high impact news, but the original, range was this one. Yes. So I had just entered, I was adjusting my stops when the news came, right? So about 2 minutes prior, if you check the stream, 2 minutes prior, I mentioned that I'm re-entering, and then at the onset of the news, 1.5 minutes in, that's when the push happened. Again, you have to be quick with these things, right? So what I'm going to start doing as well is when I start getting more and more viewers on, I'm going to have a screen here with the MT5, right? So you guys will be able to see the MT5 entries and stops that I enter in real time as well, right? So that will be something that I'm planning to do, but I want more viewers as well. So more engagement happens, and then you guys can see as well, right? So I'm going to incorporate, another screen here where you guys can see my MT5, and that way you guys can see that I'm actually executing these trades in real time as well, right? But just trying to build a platform here so more and more viewers can come and benefit from the streams, right? So our original, now as far as the setup is concerned, it's not that we just took the setup out of nowhere. This setup was actually something that we had planned already, right? This was not a setup that just came us to new. We had this in mind. The news only respected the range, right? So this stop out that we had earlier, so we did get stopped out here. This stop out was because of the JPY news effect. Open the hour right here, and then continue the push down, right? So for anybody just, coming in to the stream, you can watch the stream in the beginning. We got stopped out here. Our original plan was still here. And I did mention that I'm entering sell stops prior to the 15-minute candle opening, right? So we had about 2 minutes left. I said that I anticipate that the candle can push down because of the bearish momentum, and it worked out perfectly. All right, so that's why seconds matter. And I did mention that once I do start my exclusive group, that I'm planning on opening up in the next few I guess weeks, I'm gonna have real time, right? So we're gonna have Zoom as well. So for all the members that are in the exclusive group, you guys will get real time entries. And so here we're getting for TP2 targets here, guys. So I'm gonna close another 50% and see if it continues to run. We do have an EMA tab below here. Is it a good time to enter? Yes, it is too late to enter because we're looking for a reversal here. For GJ to go back up. There's a non-wick candle here, but there's another news. Perfect candle. Look at that, guys. So I'm actually going to close at 100% here, and that's our TP2 target. So a lot of action today. Unfortunately, we got stopped out earlier. The game plan was not any different. TP1 actually should be here. And TP2. Yeah, so this is a done trade. Now we have an EMA tab below here, the 15-minute. It just tapped, and we could go for the reversal, right? So for anybody that missed this, oh, okay, nice. So now look, USD CAD is setting up for sells, GJ is setting up for buys. So a beautiful setup here. So we're gonna look for buys on GJ. Let me just adjust this. Clean setup here. But again, don't worry, guys. Once I do start the exclusive group, you guys will have real-time data if you guys do join. So we'll have the YouTube live streams at the same time. I'm gonna have all the exclusive members joining on Zoom, so you guys get the entries in real time. Because there is an 8 to 10 second delay on YouTube, right? So whatever I'm saying now, you guys are gonna get it in 8 to 10 seconds, and I guess that could have avoid that issue as well. And I also have my MT5 as well open, so you guys will be able to see the real-time executions as well. So that'll solve that. But again, I appreciate everybody joining as well. The more we get, the more I feel that I can continue here on a day-to-day basis. The strategy works. This was a part of a game plan. It was nothing different. It was just about the timing. And interestingly enough, at the beginning of the stream, I did mention that you have to enter in a timely manner. So don't stress, guys. If you guys missed this, it's perfectly fine. This is nothing new. No FOMO. We're going to get more entries. Now we're looking for, so GJ did tap here. There is a GJ tap on the 50-minute here. So I'm looking for GJ to come down here past this and USD CAD to come up here. It is not crossing the 1 hour here. Let's see. I would like USD CAD to come up here so we can get some sells in. Well, let's wait out for USD CAD. For GJ, what a clean run. So we were down 1% at the beginning of London opening, and now up 1%. Clean ride down. And I'll look for one more setup to the other side. So need GJ to push down here on the horizontal ray right here. Let's see. Okay, 3-hour EMA. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't really follow the 3-hour EMA too much. The 50 EMA is actually above here for the 3-hour. So unless you meant 3 minutes, no. So I would actually call it a day, but if GJ see this non-wick candle right here, which is, how many pips would that be? About 47 pips. Okay, USD CAD. Okay, let's see, 3 hours. Yeah, I don't really follow too much on the 3 hours, but yes, if it works in line with the range, it's perfect, right? So we have more confidence here as well. So perfect, right? And it also works in line with this non-wick candle. So we got some setups coming here, guys. So I would say stick around. And let's see if we can get one more setup here as well to the upside. But again, very good questions, guys. And again, we're working as a community here on YouTube, and we're helping each other. And that's the key here, that we can trade together, understand the markets, understand the strategy. It works. For anybody that's still doubting the system, you can continue to watch previous streams, and you can see how many setups we catch on a day-to-day basis and the accuracy and win rate. You can go back and calculate yourself as well. And yeah, so we got a 5-minute candle opening here. So looking, let's see if we can go for, we have this clean setup here. Let's see. Okay, so GJ is pushing down now, and USD CAD is pushing up. So we could look for, opposite here. 15-minute tap as well. Okay, let's see. Can we get a push down? Ideally, this below here, so we can get some buys here for GJ. But needed to push past here. Okay, it is pushing. Let's remove this. Just gonna keep this on the side here. Let's go to C here. So getting a strong push here. So might wait for the 50-minute to close here and the 30-minute candle to close, because I want the price to come below here, because it has reached, in the previous taps here on the bottom end of the range. But you can see how the range is still, to a degree valid, and we can catch the reversals here. But a clean setup nonetheless. Timely executions and timely entries are key as well. Again, we get a little bit of breathing room above or below our buy stops and sell stops, and you have to be active. And we have to consider that there's an 8 to 10 second delay on YouTube, right? Which again, I have a solution for, but right now let's just keep, the community growing here. Nice strong push from USD CAD, but you can see how well respected the range is, right? So that's the key out of all this, is once you can get your ranges properly drawn out, the amount of setups are endless. Okay, when do I scale up 3-4 more entries? So the strategy is a little different, right? So we have to understand that it depends on the range aspect, right? So once you understand and tie down the range and how many pips in terms of its size is, that's how you can, adjust your entries. But normally we don't look to scale unless it's large ranges. But typically, if it's a, of size range, you can get 1 or 2 TPs in it. Like this one was an easy calculation here. Okay, so 15 minutes, we got 1 minute left, so let's wait. We can get another, push down, and then we'll look for some buys here if that's the case. And we could potentially get, USD CAD to push up here as well and close off the non-wick candle, tap the top end of the range. Yeah, there are some fundamental events. Now, since it did affect GJ, it could affect GJ again. Oh, wow. There you go. But it has no wick on the current candle, right? No wick on the current candle. And typically, again, I don't like to enter at market execution. So I wouldn't be entering this, anyhow anyway. So let the price come below the range, right? So nothing is working out of line here. Everything's still in line with our game plan. So today, yes, outside news, Euro news is affecting GJ, but that won't always be the case, right? But still working in line with what we want. As long as our game plan is, our technicals are still there, and it's not directly affecting the pair, right? Or at least generally, then it's fine. But yes, if you like to avoid it, that's perfectly fine as well. But the setup was not ready for us to enter buys yet, right? So now, yes, if we did market execution, we could have been stopped out as well, but just follow the game plan. Let the price ride down below. We're waiting for price to at least dip below to this zone here for us to look for some buys. And I can say confidently, right, that our game plan has not been, to enter at market execution, 80% of the time. So we didn't see a price dip below, so we're going to just wait out now. If it goes all the way against us, which, we had a 4-hour plus stream almost yesterday, in which price, went the opposite direction, but we had a bias for it to continue, in reverse, right? So that's perfectly fine. No issue. There is patience that you have to exert. Okay, now USD CAD is completely faking out here as well. So no issues again. We can allow USD CAD to come down here, right? So still can work in line to our plan. We had either USD CAD comes down here, then comes back and continues up, or USD CAD comes up here, maybe wicks up here, and then comes down, and then comes down as well. So both plans can work in line. Now, if we do see GJ pushing above here, into, above the 1-hour EMA, then at that point, we're just going to invalidate this setup as a whole. But if GJ does come down here, we could see it push up all the way to the 1-hour EMA and close off this non-wick candle, right? And in line within the range. So both can work here. And yes, we do have GUP news now in an hour from now. So if one thing to consider, you guys can avoid PMI news. On the certain day that it occurs for, I guess, France, here, Germany, we had, and we have obviously, GDP. Then we have USD as well later today. So it's a PMI day today. But you guys can see again, the range is being respected, right? So that's key here. Once you understand how to draw out the ranges, that'll be target and key to really, hone in on your skills here. And that's where the timely entries become also important. Sometimes seconds away from entry, right, where the price can push down or above, and sometimes a few minutes. Now, even if the fundamental event here pushed down the GJ pair here, it's perfectly fine because it still worked in line with our technicals, right? So it was only a catalyst to push it back down. Unfortunately, we got stopped out at the beginning of the hour, right? Which was unfortunate because the range was so accurate, but we had JPY, news here that continue, kind of broke off this range here and had to wait for the next hour, which is the London opening hour, to kind of bring it back down with the fundamental event as a catalyst. Okay, so yeah, if USD CAD pushes back down here, you could see on the 1 hour, it could even, be shifted right here like this, right? You could see the shifting of the top end of the range can also be on this end as well, right? But we do have the non-wick candle up here, right? So this makes it a little bit more accurate here, and where price can come back up and hit here. So we might look for some USD CAD buys. If GJ continues up, then we'll look for USD CAD buys shortly as well. But let's see. We do have this non-wick candle here. I'm going to draw a ray here. And again, there's no doubt with this system in mind, this strategy in mind. Once you master it and lock it in, there's a lot of setups that can form. It's all about how much time you have on the charts that you can dedicate. But again, good psychology is maybe 1, 2, or 3 setups a day, right? And even better in a given session, and then you can call it a day. So waiting for price to kind of push down, maybe up to here, maybe even here. Here would give us more satisfaction that it fills up this non-wick candle, and then it can come back here and continue up. And that would be a nice push. For GJ, it seems like it's going to push up, and if it does push up in this essence, then it's going to continue up, and it's going to tap the 2-hour EMA here. So it's going to go, if it continues up all the way to close off the hour, it's going to end up tapping this 2-hour EMA, which, let's take a look at this move here. I mean, that's another 50 plus pips away, right? So if you were trading the larger range, I do see a larger range in mind, but I'm not gonna be talking about the larger ranges during the streams, because we're looking at smaller setups. But on the larger range, the strategy becomes even more powerful at times, and you can capture a lot more pips, right? So there's a lot to learn, and a lot to have, or a lot to gain experience from, by first of all setting up with the smaller setups, smaller ranges that are tradable, and then you could push through. Okay, so GJ seems less valid right now, because unless it does a huge push down, and then we can go ahead for the buys, but instant execution here would not have made sense for us to execute with GJ. Too risky. Okay, so USD CAD is pushing. Let's see how far it is to the bottom end of the range. Or what is it? 8-9 pips away. So it could definitely reach. There's no wick on the current candle, so this could be a great setup for us. It probably will be the last setup for the session and for the week. Started with one stop out here, and then got the 2 TP setup here, with the news being the catalyst here, which I don't mind. And now looking for a third setup, and after this, yeah, we'll call it a day, and that'll be the week as well for me personally. Okay, so I'm gonna get the text ready here. So USD CAD buys at what would this be here? 134,600. And only when when it turns blue will I enter, or just listen in. But we're very close to potentially executing this. But we need a USD CAD to at least come down here, right? This area right here. Once it reaches around this zone here, at that point I'll be more confident to either instant execution with the buys or buy stops. We'll see. We got about 19 minutes left to close off the hour. And now GJ seems to be coming down. Let's see. Okay. We got one more 50-minute candle coming. Could potentially push down USD CAD here. Need it to go down at least another 10 pips or so. Yeah. Waiting for it to go at least another 9-10 pips. And then this could be a setup that I'll be looking for to enter. And GJ, let's see. And with GJ, right? So at the time when it was pushing down here, right? So at this bearish candle is when I considered entering this bearish candle right here, right? So of course this opened up like this, but at this bearish candle, I decided to enter the sell stops because of the way it was moving, and I felt very confident in how it was moving, that this JPY news was the catalyst for it to move up and stop us out, but the range was still indeed intact, I felt. So this gave me the confidence, and literally a minute, some seconds later, got the push down. Right? So even, let's say, if there was no news, I still feel that we would have got this setup at hand, because we already had attempted it once, and just because of the fundamental event, we had got stopped out and came right back to hitting our TP and so forth. Okay, so USD CAD is pushing. So it seems that GJ will continue up, right? If it doesn't pour down here, it's going to continue up and maybe, you know, pass this, fill up this non-wick candle and continue the move up, but we don't know yet. Let's see, USD CAD, looking for it to come down here, around 9 pips, but there is about a non-wick candle here, around 12 pips away, so let's see how that forms. We have a 50-minute candle coming. Let's see. All right, here it opens. Okay, now GJ is trying to push down. Let's see. So because I'm satisfied with these setups that we had already, if we don't get some setup coming up in the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to call it a stream. But let's see. The USD CAD buys does look promising here. And I may just, you know, look at this stop out right here, right? So because there's a non-wick candle, that probably would be an ideal target. Whether it's a 2 TP target or 1 TP, 19, 20 pips. Let's see to the bottom end of the range here. 10 pips. Okay, yeah, it could be a 2 TP setup. Need a little push down here. Okay, yeah, see, GJ is pushing up. So this is completed our range, and now it's pushing up, and it's probably going to push up to the 2-hour EMA. So it's working in plans. So I may not even look for any GJ setup now, because now it might be reactionary with the news now. And that's what happened yesterday as well, including earlier today. So let's see how this USD CAD forms. Alrighty. So this won't be an impulse buy. We're going to allow the price to dip below our bottom end of the range here. And then going to look for the buys here. But let's see. Patiently waiting here. The price is, you know, USD CAD is pushing down right now. So we're just about around 5 pips from where we want USD CAD to reach at least. A slight push down. A slight push down past that entry zone will give us confidence in setting up the buys. But let's see. So sharp, you know, bearish candle here on USD CAD, 15 pips. Definitely has room to come down here. And again, there's no rush in entering this. If it doesn't follow the plan, then there's no entry for me. It has to follow the game plan. All right, it's pushing. See. How many pips are we away now from the bottom end of the range? About 4 or 5 pips. So not bad at all. And we got about 10 minutes left to close off the hour. Let's see here. So one more push by USD CAD here. I mean, it could wait for the hour to close before it pushes down, but let's see. Even our initial setup with GJ, it was unfortunate that we got tapped in here. So literally, price is moving up here. There's a few minutes left before London opening, and then boom, went right down 9 pips, tapped us in, and then just went up. But interested in this USD CAD here, how it plays out here, because it does seem convincing for the buys, but need price to pour down first. Alrighty, okay. Maybe we'll have to wait for the last 5 minutes before the hour candle closes, or for the new hour candle to allow USD CAD to push down, right? And slightly past our entry zone here for it to come back, and then we got the move up here. But just need it to push down here slightly. And GJ is just ranging. Okay, so we're getting a, USD CAD flying up here. Maybe temporarily here, but still coming up here. How many pips was that? 4.5 pips. Needed to come back down to our target zone so we can, see if we're going to enter some buys. Let's see. Now, again, I don't like to drag on the streams too long. So let's see how the next 5 to 10 minutes goes. We'll open up the new hour as well, and if it continues to not go in line with our where our anticipated target zones are, and potentially it can reach there maybe later, but we don't want to drag the stream on too long. Keep it short and simple. But let's see the next 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see where the price goes for USD CAD. If it continues to float up, then I'll be off the stream, but you guys can definitely look for this setup forming, right? But be careful going into New York session. We do have PMI news for USD, right? So that's in about less than 6 hours. We do have some CAD news as well, medium impact. Of course, we have GEP news coming up in 35 minutes, but I don't feel that I would be executing any more GJ setups. I think I got what I needed from it. We did get stopped at once, and then we got 2 TPs here. It was a very, very quick move. That's why entries have to be precise and in a timely manner. So that might be the lesson for today. Which, interestingly enough, I mentioned that within, I think, the first 10-15 minutes of the stream, where strategy aside, right? Strategy works. I mean, we've seen that over and over again. There's no doubt that within the range, you get formidable setups, exact touches on both ends, and you're able to trade the setup. That's one thing, but the timely executions, and normally I like to have sell stops or buy stops ready. And everything worked in order today. Unfortunately, the JPY news did stop us out initially, but got the 2 TP set up here with a nice push. This is a 5-minute candle that went straight down, crossed TP1, and then the next 2 5-minute candles completed the move. We're looking for the buys here, but again, it was a non-wick candle, and did not give us enough breathing room down to at least this ray here, right? So it did not work in line with our plan, so did not attempt any buys here for GJ. So that's that for GJ. For USD CAD now, we're about 3 minutes away for the hour to close. Still looking for USD CAD to push down so we can attempt this setup here. But if this drags on, then I'm going to just call it a stream. I'm satisfied with the setups with GJ today. It is a profitable day, profitable week again, and we'll look for next week to get another profitable week. But let's see how the hour closes here, and then I'll stay another 5-10 minutes if we do get a setup. Of course, I'm going to be staying longer to see how the setup goes, but if this takes some time, then I'm going to just call it a stream. So USD CAD did come up here to fill up this non-wick candle. Of course, we do have a non-wick candle up here, and we do have a non-wick candle at the top end of this range right here. We actually have one right here as well, and here as well. Wow, so we have lots of non-wick candles where, again, that just gives us more certainty. Wait, never mind, no, that did get filled up. My apologies, but this one, yeah, these two did get filled up, but there's one here, and there's one here, and the current one just got filled. Now we could see USD CAD pushing down before we get the reversal, but let's see nonetheless. It's attempting to push all the way now. We've got 1 minute left to the hour closure. GJ now is coming down. Interesting. Okay, so we got the hour close coming now. Let's see how price reacts. Here we got GJ. Let's see. Got USD CAD. No wick on the current candle. We could see the flip right now, tapping the 1 hour EMA and then coming back down. It's kind of what's happening right now. Or it just continues to push down. We may just see a slowdown of USD CAD now till maybe New York or pre-London or pre-New York session maybe. Let's see, we just need about 9 to 12 pips down. If it can push down here, we'll look to see for the USD CAD buys. Let's see. Alrighty, so kind of ranging in this zone. Let's see if it gets a big push. We do have the 50-minute tap here, EMA. And then we got the 30-minute EMA up here. And we got the 1 hour up here as well. So USD CAD may slow down in this smaller range right here. Unless we get a drastic move with the GP PMI news. But I would be careful with GJ now because of the GP PMI. So I would have probably avoid now GP. Okay, guys, I think I'll be ending the stream in a few minutes. It seems, USD kind of slow down here, so we're going to have to, continue to drag on. I like to keep the streams short and simple, and normally we do get setups within the first hour of the stream or something aligning and, into, the New York or, London opening. But if it continues to just consolidate here, it's just going to push, us into the next hour and so forth and so forth. So let's see. We do have some biases here, but let's see. Did it tap the 1 hour nearly? So yeah, it's a this can be expected. Comes up, it opened up with no wick, came back up, created a wick, and now it can push up and tap the 1 hour EMA and then come back down, and maybe we can get that set up for the buys, right? But timely entries are key, and we'll be back here for more, right? There's no FOMO. There should be no FOMO for anybody. We patiently had a stop out here, executed in a timely manner for GJ, and got the 2 TPs, albeit maybe not everybody got in, but there is a delay on YouTube as well. But at the same time, I want, everybody to kind of practice understanding the ranges and understanding where you can form entries, and eventually you guys will be able to get it on your own as well, right? So that is the key. And we're gonna be back here for a lot more, guys. So don't worry. This is not a one, short-term game here. We're gonna be here for the long run. I don't know how long I'll be for on YouTube, but at least I want to leave enough knowledge, with the live streams, for you guys to understand the strategy. It's one of the most simplified strategies systems that I computed, understanding how prices move and what key components we can look at, and the way we set up our limit orders, whether it's buy stops or sell stops, right, in a timely manner. And that's key. That's key in all of this. So I assure you guys we're going to get a lot more setups in the coming weeks, months. And for me personally, I really, really enjoy this. This is has become a skill that is so powerful once you truly understand how to use it. And it can go long ways. Don't worry where you are right now. Build yourself. Build your, risk management skills. Build your trade management skills. Join the streams. You can watch it live for free. And from there, we can understand, where we can go next, right? So a lot more coming. I do have some announcements coming as well. If you do want to be updated on the latest, I recommend that you guys join any of my socials, but more so Telegram. I'll be opening up Discord as well very soon. So I have a lot of things in the works. I have a lot of, partnerships that may come about from just doing these live streams. I've had some, brokers and some prop firms, wanting to partner up. But for me personally, I have mentioned it on my socials as well. But for me personally, if they are transparent, honest, legitimate, at that point I will be partnering up. But until then, I don't find it feasible for me to partner up with anybody, because I don't want to mislead anybody, right? Everybody works, hard for their money, and I wouldn't want anybody to be deceived by any prop firm or broker, especially if I'm partnered up with them as well, right? So I will do my due diligence. I recommend you guys do your due diligence with the broker that you choose, with the prop firm that you choose, and all the best. So we'll call it a stream, guys. Unfortunately, we did not get the USD CAD buy set up here. It's prices floating around. I could probably imagine that the GBP news or the USD CAD news. The CAD news at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, 9:45 Eastern for USD news. That may bring back the price down and potentially, for the buys. But it is a Friday, so be careful. Safe trading as always. And we'll call it a stream. And again, I appreciate everybody joining the stream. And I'll see you guys next week. Monday to Fridays, always 1 hour prior to London opening. Take care, guys, and have a good weekend.